What's happening, Wargamers? Welcome to the 2024 channel update for Aegisbrand Studios. Just going to give you a quick rundown of everything that's kind of gone over for the channel this year and kind of give you an idea of what is coming in 2025. I do have some plans that hopefully will turn out quite well, but we'll see what's going to happen on it all. First thing I want to do is I want to thank each and every single member of my Patreon here. Everyone who has donated a little bit of their money to make sure that this channel can continue to operate the way it does. It has allowed us to keep everything current, buy the newest kits when they come out, to get them on the channel, or even just help refresh with some new terrain or even just new filming equipment. Like for instance, one thing I was able to pick up this past year was a brand new camera, which has gone a long way to just improving the quality of the videos that I bring to you every weekend. So I want to thank each and every one of the patrons. Everyone from the entry-level patron to the ones who give a little bit more, to even one producer patron who I know as Spidey Dude on all the Discords. You guys are all amazing, awesome, and you allow me to take this a little bit more seriously than it was when it first started. So I want to thank every one of you guys for that one. And of course, if you guys want to support the channel yourself, you guys can go to patreon.com/Aegisbrand Studios. I'd love to have that support. It allows us to keep up with this, and I mean, the more patrons the channel gets, the more interesting things that we can hopefully do in the future, as well as more interesting ways to give back, and thank everyone for that one. But of course, it's more than just the patrons I want to thank here. It's everyone who's tuned in every weekend to catch the Marvel Crisis Protocol battle reports, or the Star Wars Shatterpoint battle reports, or even just like the weird little odds and ends that I put out there, like the dossiers or the hot takes type stuff. Everyone who tunes in, it's immensely gratifying and humbling to see that. So thank everyone for doing that. I'm so glad that's something that I started just as kind of a little side project to have a little bit of fun because I missed my days at mini wargaming, has actually turned into something that people look forward to, that they appreciate in the community, and I can't be grateful enough for all of that. And I'm so happy that I can continue to put this content down. And of course, I want to thank my supporting cast of people that come in, local game guides. First and foremost, Troop, been a friend of mine for 20 some years at this point. I'm so grateful for him to come out and help me film on regular Thursdays. Jason from Z-Trucks Wargaming, a local guy who started gaming at my LGS, who shares the same drive and passion for making content. And of course, Alex, who joins me predominantly for Star Wars Shatterpoint. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for giving your time for all this one. And then, of course, just supporting members who come in and film with me from time to time. I want to thank all of you as well, because obviously without guests, I can't do any of this. So that's the thank yous out of the way. If you put up with that, so grateful for that. The next thing I want to address before we get into the meat and bones of the channel is why there was a brief break in November. And unfortunately, that was a very difficult one. Back in September, I had learned that my dog of 9.5 years required emergency surgery and had to have his spleen out. During that time, we unfortunately learned that he had a very aggressive form of blood cancer, which unfortunately was quite fatal. We did whatever we could for him, and we were able to buy 2 extra months with him. And unfortunately, when he passed, I just was not able to do anything content-wise for a couple weeks. But I want to say that everyone who supports the channel, both patrons and viewers, because of that support, we had some extra resources to help him fight it. And we got 2 months when we could have only been looking at a few days. So it's very difficult for that one. But all things come with a bit of a silver lining, and I want to introduce you to my newest filming buddy. So, unfortunately, Indy has passed, but I want to introduce all of you to my newest little filming buddy, this little guy, Oliver. He is 9 weeks old as of filming of this one, and hopefully he's going to be around for a good long time, and he's helped me immensely get through everything here. So yeah, this is this is little Oliver, and I don't think he's going to look at the camera there. But yeah, so that's what's been going on there. That's why there was the 2-week hiatus, and hopefully he continues to grow and be strong, and we can get him on camera every so often. But anyway, on to the meat and potatoes of what this video is all about. We're going to talk about kind of what happened with the channel this year and what we expect going forward. So with all that said, I just want to go over a couple quick stats on everything like this. This year was probably my busiest year filming battle reports for my own channel. Was able to clock in 50 Crisis Protocol battle reports and after action reports. On top of that, there was a fair few dossiers, some other reaction videos, just general news stuff that I was able to do as well. And as for Shatterpoint, there was 46 battle reports for Shatterpoint, as well as the meditation. So well over 100 videos, once everything is considered, was filmed. And given that this is all done off the volunteer time of those around me, I am eternally grateful for that one and very satisfying for that one. I was really hoping to be able to hit a full 52 for the Micro Crisis Protocol, but life got in the way for that one. But yeah, so whole lot. It is a very difficult metric to keep up with. So we're going to see how well I can do that going into 2025. And I'm going to hope that I can hit 52 and 52 for both of them. Now, something else that's going to be happening is there's going to be a bit of change in the way the content is done. Unfortunately, to make this a viable long-term thing, I need to play with the algorithm a little bit more. So what that means is if a video series is not performing well, I need to seriously look at it and consider whether or not it's worth continuing to support. And unfortunately, the after action reports and meditations are those videos. In comparison to the battle reports, they generally net maybe 7% of the overall views. If a battle report pulls in 1,000 views, the after action report pulls in maybe 70. It's not a great comparison number. It's unfortunate because I really like these little segments. I think they're a great way of digesting what happened in the game. Does this mean the content's going away? No. What's going to happen is we are going to move it back to the end of the video itself. So if that's content that you like to see, just keep watching the video. It's going to be at the end of every battle report. And in the meantime, I'm thinking of a way of that I can create a little bit of extra content for the patrons. So on the Patreon, I might be releasing those particular talks independently on their own, so people who just want to check that out can do so. But that is going to be one of the big changes for the channel going forward is that. The other change is going to be I'm going to try and get out more sort of opinion content type thing. I'm going to try and share my thoughts on new releases, on new reveals, that sort of thing. I've always kind of had bad imposter syndrome, and I've always kind of felt that nobody wants to hear my opinion. However, I'm closing in on 1 million views on this channel. We're getting close to 6,000 subscribers. There's about 45 patrons. So people clearly are interested in what I have to say. So I'm going to start sharing that opinion, and hopefully it's an opinion people care about. Now, of course, it's always going to be coming through the lens of somebody who's not the most competitive minded. So more of the local game store approach. So that's going to be the idea behind that. You've already seen a couple of these with sort of my hot potato takes on new reveals over December. That's kind of going to be the gist of it, and I'm going to keep trying to refine that particular type of content for you guys. On top of that, I'm going to try and get some more interesting content down. I'm going to try and pull in some local players, some guys you've seen on the channel, and try to get some more interesting discussion pieces going at the same time. Some other stuff that I got going on here. This is one I'm kind of excited for. I've been asked by a local gaming group of Ontario to assist them with their Shatterpoint tournament scene, namely being a judge for it. So something that you can look forward to, even if you want to come up to Southern Ontario for it. January 25th, I will be judging a Star Wars Shatterpoint GT at Torchlight Games in Burlington, Ontario. It is a phenomenal store, brand new location, great community, very excited to do this, so you guys can come up for it. But the reason I'm really excited by this is because I've also been given the opportunity to basically flesh out my table situation a little bit. I was asked if I could supply tables for it, and I mean, I was able to do some, but to do a full GT, need a lot more tables, obviously. So through the generous contributions of the fine guys over at Imperial Terrain, they helped me out by basically giving me a little bit of support for a bunch of different boards, and I now have 3 or 4 different Shatterpoint boards that not only are they going to be making appearances on the channel as soon as they're finished painted, but they are also going to be for play at this upcoming GT. So very excited for that. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek of that one in a future video here. Some other stuff I got going on. I am planning on attending Adepticon again. It was a blast last year. It was my first time. Once again, I'm going to try and film again. But the other thing I'm going to have is for people who try to hunt me down at Adepticon, if it so pleases you, I'm going to try and have little goodies to give away. I don't know how many I'm going to have, but you know, if you see me at Adepticon, shoot your shot. I might have something to pass along to you. And aside from that, that is pretty much the state of the channel. That's what I got going on. Like I said, I want to keep getting more content out next year. I want to try and hit you know, a weekly battle report for both things. And I want to try and introduce some more game systems as well. I've been looking at the Halo Flashpoint. I've been wanting to do some Warcry. So there's stuff I want to try and get done for the channel. I want to try and make this a little bit more encompassing and, you know, just more interesting, maybe expose some people to some other games that could be cool and interesting. So there we are. That is 2024 in a nutshell, and that's some of my hopes for 2025. Hopefully you guys decide to join me along for this particular ride. It has been a great one so far as I go into, I think this is going to be like my 5th year of dedicated filming, which, I mean, is just mind-boggling. Didn't think I'd actually be doing that, so here we go. And yeah, I thank you all for your continued support. Remember, guys, all that support goes a long way. It allows me to keep up with all the releases, keep up with hardware constraints, keep up with, you know, various things that just make the quality better, like lighting, audio, all that sort of stuff. So thank you to everyone who is a patron. Thank you to everyone who is a subscriber and watches these videos on a regular basis. And we will see you in the new year. Happy wargaming.